You could say that Detroit is all about the people, and some names are more familiar than others. But what is in a name, and what could that mean for you?
Yep, that's the conversation tonight at 8 p.m. on Table for Four, a brand new show on Local 4 Plus. Take a look.
What's up, Detroit? I'm Dennis Archer Jr. Through relationships and a little luck, I've made many connections in my life leading to great conversations with people who live in, work in, support, and are otherwise connected to Detroit. This is your chance to join in on some of these fabulous conversations, a chance to experience local hospitality and have an in-depth conversation with people who have impactful ties to the city of Detroit.
When I have people, just strangers, come off the street and say, hey, your dad's voice did this for me. It got me through this point in my life.
We have all gotten advantages for no other reason but because of our last name. Do you guys ever feel conflicted about that?
Do we get to ask you a question?
Yeah, freestyle, let's go.
I can't believe I'm gonna admit this, but.
This is Table for Four.
And we're joined now by Dennis Archer Jr., who is leading the conversations on Table for Four. Thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure.
It is great to have you.
I hate watching myself.
We would just have that conversation, but it looks great. I can vouch for that. All right, but let's get into this. We got a taste of what Table for Four is all about in the trailer. But in your own words, how would you describe the show?
I think quite simply, it's me having interesting conversations with interesting people who most Detroiters would not normally touch and feel on a regular basis.
But we'll know their names, that's
You
for
will
sure.
know their names, absolutely.
Yeah, can you share who's going to be around the table in the first episode?
Yeah, so the first episode, just a little bit of backstory. I used to have Ambassador Magazine years ago with Denise Illich, and one of the first stories that we did was called What's in a Name? And I think at the time we interviewed Jay Penske and maybe Edsel Ford at the time. And we got a lot of great feedback about that because, again, it was people, they know their names, their families are iconic in Detroit, but the normal Detroiter, average Detroiter may not have access to them or know about them. And so in this instance, we revived that concept for our premiere episode of Table for Four. And I've got Denise Illich, who is obviously the senior eldest child of the Illich family.
Yes.
Everybody knows who the Illiches
Yep.
are.
Absolutely.
Leidy Hudson, who is the granddaughter of J.L. Hudson, who obviously the Hudson department store.
Oh, what a great lineup.
Iconic, and it's interesting because now the Hudsons, growing up, Hudson's to me is where I went to go see Santa Claus, and it was the iconic department store. Now the Hudson site means something different to a new generation.
Absolutely.
So we touched upon that. Cynthia Ford, who's married to Edsel Ford from the Ford family. Coleman Young, who is the second, who is the son of, again, historic, iconic Mayor Coleman Alexander Young, who was mayor for 20 years. And then last but not least, Levi Stubbs, who is the son, Levi Stubbs III, who's the son of Levi Stubbs Jr., who was the lead singer of the Four Tops.
Right. Okay. So what kind of impact do you hope to have with these kind of conversations? Because you're bringing a lot of heavy hitters together.
I think it's very candid, open, and honest conversation. And in each episode that we will shoot, we'll have a different theme to it. In this particular episode, I want to share with our viewing audience, you know, what's it like to have the name Ford or Illich or Stubbs? You know, there are certain benefits that come with that. I mean, I myself experienced that being Dennis Archer Jr. People have certain preconceived notions about you. Some are good, some are bad, based upon what they thought about your father or your parents. There's certain advantages that you get just because of your last name. How does that make you feel? You feel bad about that? Do you feel gratitude because of that? And so we touch on a lot of topics like that.
Try having a last name Magic. Jeez.
A lot of expectations.
The stigma that comes with that last name.
So that must be a lot to carry, though, personally, for you to carry a last name that's instantly recognizable, though, no?
Yeah, I mean, it is. But I mean, again, I don't think that there's any cons. I mean, obviously, if I speak from my own experience, there were a lot of experiences that I was able to partake in because of who my parents were. There are a lot of doors that were open because of who my parents were. And, you know, of course, you get people who perhaps don't like you initially or think that you are some sort of way initially just because of who your parents were. And so, again, it's all positive, but how people articulate that and share different experiences that they've had over the course of their lives because of that really came out in the discussion that we had.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be a fascinating conversation.
I
Thank
look
you for
forward
being
to
with
it.
us. So do we. Now, you can watch Table for Four tonight at 8 o'clock on Local 4 Plus, and tomorrow night at 8 o'clock right here on Local 4. It's just part of the premiere week schedule on Local 4 Plus. Tomorrow night and Friday night is the start of high school football. So don't miss State Champs Game Time Live, delivered by Hungry Howie's Amazon Prep Kickoff Classic. That's all. You can go to clickondetroit.com for full details.